AVZ Minerals today announced a milestone achievement and are now on the verge of receiving their long-awaited mining license. We're all familiar with the lithium story. We all know that the electric vehicle demand is continuing to ramp upwards, and as demand comes online for EVs, near-term supply for lithium can't come online fast enough. The market is searching for potential production of lithium to feed into this demand, and AVZ Minerals are hoping to serve as one solution within the broader EV battery materials supply chain. AVZ Minerals are developing their Manono lithium and tin project. This is one of the largest undeveloped lithium resources in the world. To give you an idea about the scale, it has 400 million tons of resource, and it has reserves of over 100 million tons of lithium, and this is at a greater than 1.6% grade. It is a significant resource, and there is also further exploration potential. To give you an understanding about where ASX AVZ are currently positioned, they were recently included into the ASX 200 and the 300, so they were included into the benchmark index. And they've recently received their favourable technical opinion, which meant that they were steps away from receiving this mining license. And today they got another tick in the box, which has attracted a lot of investor interest. So as we can see here, today the DRC Minister of Mines signed the ministerial decree to award the mining license for the Manono lithium and tin project to Dathcom Mining. AVZ Minerals currently owns 75% of Dathcom Mining. It's worth noting, as we mentioned, that of course a lot of the focus for Manono is surrounding the lithium, of which they have a massive reserve and resource. However, it will also be producing tin as well, which is fascinating, particularly with tin being a key component as we move towards a decarbonised society as well. As we can see here, currently there's still a final step, the calculation of the surface rights fee. And once there's the receipt of that payment, then the mining license will be officially awarded over. We can see here the ministerial decree is broad. It will award the mining license to cover the entirety of the JORC mineral resource and reserve, but also the exploration target as well. It's worth noting as well, just in terms of corporate structure, the transaction with CATH is progressing well. This is a significant transaction, and ultimately, once it's closed and finalized, obviously there is a funding component as well, but CATH will then receive an indirect 24% interest in the Manono project, whilst AVZ retains their majority stake of 51%. And importantly here, this is crucial that the DRC Council of Ministers are expected to meet to provide wide-ranging support for all outstanding permitting and licensing requirements for the Manono project. Obviously, today is a major milestone in the ASX AVZ story. It is a significant de-risking event, and it continues to open up the pathway towards construction and ultimately production. As you guys know as well, as we continue to explore this discussion today, just a bloke on the internet who likes talking about the markets, obviously not a financial advisor, and nothing we discuss is financial advice. Hopefully it's an interesting discussion, however, as a starting spot for your research. And drop in a comment below, let us know your thoughts on it all. What did you make of the news up ahead today? And this here is actually another interesting piece of news that's come out just over the past week. And it states that Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo have signed a cooperation agreement to start manufacturing electric batteries. Obviously, it's worth noting that the Manono lithium and tin project is contained within the DRC. And this is quite a fascinating one. We know the narrative and the discussion about localization of supply chains that's occurring around the world. And it's not exclusively happening in the lithium sector. It's happening for a range of commodities. But obviously it speaks to the opportunity here with the onshoring of the manufacturing of EV batteries. And we can see here, so Zambia and DRC have signed a cooperating agreement. The agreement, which includes the clean energy sector, will explore minerals rich in both countries, which are key raw materials in the manufacturing of electric car batteries. Of course, we know that many of these African nations have traditionally been known for their raw materials that they're endowed with, but often they've been sent offshore for downstream processing and capturing a lot of that value. But as we can see here, they've stated that they believe it's a big start and a key to poverty alleviation and really continuing to uplift the broader economies there. It's an interesting discussion. It is obviously early stage. As the presidents here have stated, the signing is one thing, but it emphasizes the need to actualize the agreement. So it is still early stage. We'll wait to see how it flows through. But there are a range of further downstream implications for companies like AVZ Minerals to get further involved in the electric vehicle battery material supply chain. We know that AVZ Minerals have been considering the opportunity for lithium hydroxide plant and further downstream production there. And it also potentially, if there is a development within Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, it will go some way as well to alleviating the need to send off and organize logistics for the product as well. And so then the question might be, what's next for ASX AVZ? Now, upon the receipt of the mining license, they have the ability to convert their previously completed DFS into a BFS, a bankable feasibility study, and then make their FID, their final investment decision. Investors will be eagerly awaiting that and looking at the numbers that will flow through for the BFS. There's also the opportunity to continue further exploration of the downstream opportunities, as well as an expansion and scoping case on that front too. So these are two key catalysts that investors will be watching for. Of course, this goes some way to de-risking the pathway up ahead, but now, as mentioned, there's still the move towards construction if a positive FID is achieved, and then the pathway towards production. In the announcement today, there was discussion of an aim. In the announcement today, ASX AVZ stated that they're aiming for SC6 production aimed for 2023. So that's into the next year. So they're aiming to be a nearish term producer. It's worth noting as well that AVZ Minerals raised $75 million in December 2021 with a capital raise, and this has now allowed them to begin considering the commencement of early works. As we know, the world needs more lithium at this stage. The electric vehicle demand is just starting to ramp up. If you are interested in this discussion around the EV battery material supply chain, here's another video you can check out after this one. But of course, as AVZ Minerals aim to become a globally significant producer of lithium, it's going to be fascinating to watch how their pathway up ahead towards production plays out. Thank you so much for joining us. For now, stay well and happy investing.